ニューヨークが今崩壊し始めています。新市長が掲げた理想の街づくりは一見すると夢のように聞こえますが、その裏には財政、治安、住宅、すべてを揺るがすリスクが潜んでいます。
Check out this video really quick.
Starting on day one, we will expand the city's special enforcement programs, doubling fines for hazardous violations and tripling them for conditions that are immediately dangerous. And when a really bad landlord, like this guy, refuses to fix it, the city's gonna step in, make the repairs, and send them the bill. If that doesn't work, the city's taking over the building. We're putting the worst landlords out of business.
So this is his plan. He's going to take away the building if the landlord can't afford to make renovations. The city will step in and do it, but then they'll take away the building if the landlord can't afford it. But at the same time, he's doing rent freezes. He's going to freeze rent so landlords can't raise rent. So how are they supposed to pay for it? Like if there's a major problem with the apartment complex, how are they supposed to pay for it? And if they can't afford it, and the only way that they can is to raise rent. But no, he froze the rent. You know, materials are going up, labor is going up. What's going to happen? They'll pay for it, the city. But then, no, if you can't pay me back, I'm going to take away the building. This is a slow, over time, slow transition into government housing. And what does that sound like if the government's going to be owning all these buildings? Communism.
And just like that, New York City free buses are a thing of the past. Zohran Mamdani ran his campaign and promised his supporters, if you vote for me, I'm going to provide you free bus services, rent control apartments, government-run grocery stores, all the amazing things. One, he never had the power to do any of that. The power, the authority, he could never do that. But he said it, and you guys ran to the polls in droves to vote for free buses. Well, you're not getting them. You know why? Because in order for the bus service to be free, they'd have to raise taxes. So remember when I said nothing is free? Somebody was paying for that. And I've seen videos of his supporters saying, well, we'll just make the rich, wealthy people pay for it. They're not. You can't make people use their money to pay for your free shit. So that's never going to happen. Governor Hochul is already super unpopular in New York. She may be considering re-election. So now her campaign is going to be, I'm not going to raise taxes. And that's how she thinks she's going to win. So the mayor and the governor are running in direct opposition of each other in New York. And you guys believed so much so that you voted, you gave your vote away for free buses that you're not going to get. You're not going to get free buses. There's not going to be any rent stabilization. There's not going to be any government-run grocery stores unless that's her agenda. But just like that, free buses are gone. Let me know down in the comments, do you feel duped? Do you feel like hoodwinked? Do you feel like you voted for him because you thought you were going to get all this free stuff and you're going to make the rich people pay for it, and now it's not going to happen, and now you might be in your feelings about it? Let me know down in the comments, because I said in videos prior, like last month, nothing is for free. Someone was going to pay for it. And you guys convinced yourself that you were going to just tax the wealthy to pay for your free stuff. What would make you think that they would do that? Number one, because they're wealthy, they could move and live anywhere. Just saying. So when they said, we're not going to pay for your free stuff, who were you going to tax then? The middle class? Like they got money to be paying for your free stuff? No free buses, no free rides, nothing is free. Take this as a lesson. Nothing is for free. Somebody's got to pay for something down the road, and now you're going to continue to pay for the bus services and transportation in the city of New York, and they probably will raise it.
New York just elected Zohran Mamdani as mayor. 34 years old, Democratic Socialist, first Muslim mayor, first South Asian mayor, youngest in a century. It's a historic moment and a symbolic one. But symbolism doesn't run a city. Budgets do, infrastructure does, security does. Mamdani promised fare-free buses, universal childcare, city-run grocery stores, and a rent freeze across one of the most expensive real estate markets in the world. They're big, hopeful ideas, the kind that make inspiring speeches. But speeches are cheap. Budgets are not. New York has a projected $7 to $10 billion deficit coming. The city is already borrowing to stay afloat. Businesses are closing or leaving. High-income earners are moving to lower tax states. The tax base is shrinking at the exact moment he wants to expand spending. Freeze rents without increasing supply, and investors stop building. When investors stop building, housing supply collapses. When supply collapses, rents rise anyway, with worse conditions. Berlin already proved that. It didn't help tenants. It trapped them. Make buses free and transit loses billions in fare revenue. Expand childcare and the city takes on permanent staffing and pension obligations. Once government spending grows, taxpayers carry it for decades. And there's another part to consider. When a city offers more than it can afford, demand doesn't just rise. People flood in. New York already has over 100,000 migrants in temporary accommodation. Shelters are full. Hotels are being used as emergency housing. Layer more free services on top and the system snaps. Public safety is the next fault line. If policing weakens in a city where crime is already rising, businesses shorten hours, tourists stay away, Broadway suffers, and entire sectors lose revenue. Tourism is one of New York's economic lungs. If it collapses, the rest of the body follows. And if anyone thinks that sounds dramatic, I live in the UK. I have family and friends in London. We've already seen this movie. Sadiq Khan came in with the same promises. Affordability, equality, cheaper transport, progressive transformation. London was excited. It was hopeful. But the outcome has been brutal. Crime rose, trust in policing collapsed, transport systems needed repeated financial bailouts, taxes increased, businesses and residents left the capital. London became poorer, more stressed, and more divided than ever before. Not because of his identity, but because of the cost of the policies. New York is now stepping into the same blueprint. During the campaign, Mamdani delivered messaging in Arabic, speaking directly to one of the city's most mobilized voter blocs. There's nothing unusual about targeting a base. Every politician does it. What stands out is what didn't happen. New York is one of the most multilingual cities on earth. Nearly 3 million residents speak Spanish. Mandarin, Cantonese, Bengali, Urdu, and Russian dominate whole neighborhoods. In a normal citywide race, candidates reach them with translators, multilingual videos, ethnic radio, and community press, even if they don't speak the languages personally. That's just standard politics in New York. This time, it didn't happen. One community heard his message directly. Others did not. It doesn't prove exclusion, but it raises a fair question. How broad is his coalition, and who was prioritized when votes mattered most? Then there's the credibility issue. Mamdani told supporters his campaign had maxed out fundraising and didn't need more money. It sounded honest. Then official filings showed over $1 million arriving afterward. His donation link is still active today. If a politician blurs the truth about campaign money, why would anyone trust them with a multi-billion-dollar city budget? If New York's finances collapse, the city will need federal help. But federal funding is political leverage. Washington doesn't have to bail out a mayor running an ideological experiment. And if the White House changes hands, which it easily could, that lifeline may not exist at all. A failing New York under a progressive mayor becomes political gold for national conservatives. They would hold it up as proof that this model cannot work and New York would be the example quoted for years. Before anyone tries to twist this, here's the simple truth. Cities don't succeed or fail because of identity. They succeed or fail because of maths. If the numbers don't work, the city doesn't work, no matter who's in charge. And it's not a left versus right argument either. Plenty of conservative-run cities have failed. Bad governance doesn't have a political party. When crime rises, when revenue collapses, when public services fall apart, the result is always the same. Yet there are countries with generous social systems that work. But they built those systems on strong economies, low crime, and strict fiscal management. New York doesn't have those foundations. You cannot copy the outcome when you don't have the structure. And nobody is guessing. We've already seen this model in London, San Francisco, Chicago, Portland, and Berlin. Debt rose, crime rose, businesses left, public trust fell apart. Even if things go wrong, recovery is not quick. When a city loses investors, talent, tourism, and business confidence, you don't flip a switch and fix it. It can take years, sometimes decades. The hardest part is that people celebrating today are the ones most exposed to the fallout. Not the wealthy. They can leave. Not corporations. They can relocate. It's working families who will feel it first. In rent, in bills, in neighborhood safety, in job markets, in the everyday cost of living in a city that promised everything and discovered it couldn't pay for it.
Rest in peace, New York. Built in 1624, died in 2025. I truly, really feel this city is no longer the New York it used to be. Now New York is full of meetings, policies, and nonsense. The streets are completely different. When you walk on the streets of Brooklyn, you can feel that kind of fake sense of safety. It looks bright and shiny on the surface, but underneath, it's a total mess. Some people say I'm too dramatic, say I don't understand politics. But I've seen too many real things in this city: blood, fire, betrayal, and dreams. I know what it means when you take away the cops from the streets, when you make crime something that can be understood. I've seen those new mayors and new politicians. Every single one of them loves to talk about ideals. But they have never walked through South Jamaica Avenue at 3 in the morning. They have never run for their lives under the sound of gunfire. They say they want to rebuild New York, but every single thing they do is destroying its bones. I'm not being nostalgic, I'm just being real. I know cities will change, people will change. But when you turn crime into scenery, all I can say is rest in peace, New York.
Well, congratulations, New York City. You just elected your most radical mayor ever, and it may just cost your city everything. Yes, a political earthquake just hit New York, and it's not a drill, it's reality. Remember Zoran Mamdani, the ambassador of unity that everyone was sold on? Well, he didn't show up at the acceptance speech last night. Even Van Jones from CNN said that the warm, inclusive Mamdani that everyone saw on the campaign trail just simply vanished. Poof. In his place, a fiery, combative voice, declaring a mandate for change and taunting his opposition. Jones said that this character switch could cost him broad support, further dividing a city that desperately needs healing. So, what does this mean for New York now? A budget-busting progressive agenda, a city on edge, and an administration that's already raising alarms. And if you thought this election was just another headline, it's not. It'll be the turning point you look back on when the lights start flickering. Well, New York, now you get to play the game. Stability versus experiment. And we're all sitting in the bleachers watching one city's gamble that may very well have a domino effect on the rest of our country. But hey, this is what you voted for. Enjoy.
You know, as a person, a public servant who puts his life on the line every day to protect the safety of people in the areas that I patrol and protect the Constitution, it is sad to see that my former home, New York City, has been overrun by individuals who did not even grow up in that city. They now dictate the direction of that great city. And I find it truly disgusting how the New York government have made a mockery of the voting system in that city. I mean, just look. How can you say with a straight face that that socialist won that election fair and square? Absolutely not. You have people who have been paid to vote, not one, not twice, not 3 times, but multiple times on social media, bragging about it, bragging about payments that they received, you know, from dark money, just made a mockery of our voting system in New York City. And don't think that any of them had to show ID. No, New York is against voter ID. and you wonder why. Look at any liberal-ran city and see why they keep yelling that voter ID is fascism. That is because they want to allow their voter base, the illegal kind, to come in and elect any kind of socialist Marxist that they want to destabilize this nation. I was born and raised in the city of New York, 5 boroughs, not outside, in the city. And I watched it go to shit. So much so that I had to pack my family up and leave. And if you would have told me 5 years ago that New York would elect a socialist Muslim, I would say you were fucking crazy. This constitutional republic is under attack. New York has fallen.
問題の核心はただ一つ、実現不可能な約束で票を集めたということです。家賃の凍結、無料バス、政府運営のスーパー、そして大幅な公共サービスの拡大、どれも魅力的に聞こえますが、財源はなく、富裕層への増税をすると言っていますが、富裕層や企業が黙って従うはずもありません。このままでは、ニューヨークは財政破綻、治安悪化、街の空洞化という崩壊シナリオにまっしぐら、票を得るための甘い約束が、これから街をどれほど苦しめるのか、あなたはこの問題をどう思いますか？感想や意見をコメントいただけると幸いです。最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。